Hello and a very warm welcome to my garden. Today is really nice here in Melbourne. It is 22 degrees tops. We've had a really hot few days. In the beginning of the week on the Monday, it was it went up to 38 to 39 degrees, and I was hoping to come out here and do some gardening, but it was just too hot and it was not the right temperature to do any planting. So I took a break and enjoyed being cool inside. Today I wanted to show you my zinnias. I wanted to give you like an overview of which zinnia seeds I got. It's the zinnias from floret flowers. Floret is it's beautiful farm owned by Erin. She's so beautiful, and just the work she's doing is amazing and magical and just absolutely groundbreaking for the world of flowers. She's breeding her own varieties of zinnias in her farm in the US, in I believe in Washington. And I have been following Erin and Floret Flower for a while, and I have been wanting to get my hands on their seeds. And when I was in the UK earlier this year, they did have some floret flower originals available in Millie Prost. Um, she's a she's a gardener and a florist who works in the UK. I believe she's in Sussex. But she sells seeds in small batches that she gets from her little flower farm, and she was chosen to be the seller for the UK. And I was meaning to get some seeds while I was there, but then it was really hectic, and I wasn't sure if I can get the seeds in time, so I didn't. And then when I came back to Melbourne, I learned that the veggie garden and seeds in is a little company, a seed little company in Tasmania were chosen to be the seed suppliers of floret original flowers in Australia. It was amazing news, and I set my alarm to get the seeds when they go live. Of course, I had no idea they were gonna cost me a lot of money, but these are, I would say, the most money I've spent on seeds, but I believe it is worth it because once you spend that money, the flowers that you grow will produce their own seeds, and I can harvest seeds for life. So it's an investment, I like to believe. Yeah, so before I go into too much details, I wanted to show you where I put my floret flower zinnias in. So in this border here, this is a border that gets really nice sunlight in the day. So I wanted to put in like few zinnias around here so that when they grow they look really nice. So I grew a mix of zinnia, floret, precious metals, zinnia, Dawn Creek blush, and Dawn Creek peach, which I showed you earlier in the video. So these are where I put the seedlings in. I just mixed them up and put them in the ground. The ones that look really strong and tall are the precious metals. I believe precious metals are the biggest blooms of zinnia so far. So I'm really excited to see how my precious metals will go. So I've got one here and one in here. Just this one here, and then two here. They are forming little flower heads now, so I'm super excited to see how they go. This one, I don't think this is a precious metal. There must be like a Dawn Creek peach or a Dawn Creek blush. Um, Very sad thing happened when I put this in. I don't know what, but the leaves started to sort of get eaten up. Like I can show one just right here. You can see what's happened to that. So I was really upset about this, but I was happy that these seedlings looked okay. I did put some snail pellets just to keep them safe from the snails because I didn't want the snails to get to them before they get a chance to grow new leaves. Because as you know, if the basically how plants grow is by photosynthesizing. So photosynthesis happens when the sunlight touches the leaves, and that's how plants grow. But if these leaves are eaten up like this, then the plant won't be able to photosynthesize well. So I was really upset about that, but hopefully, fingers crossed, these babies will thrive, and I am so looking forward to see their blooms. Now I'm going to take you around the back to see the floret flowers that I put in my beds. So let's go. So I have a few in here, in this bed, and in this bed. I mix them up, the three types, the floret flower precious metals, the Dawn Creek blush, and the Dawn Creek um, peach together. I mixed them up and then I planted them in these three beds. So I wanted to show you how they're going now. So I grew these from seed. I started them here in Melbourne in the beginning of November. So I sowed the seeds in the beginning of November, and they had put on lots of beautiful growth towards the end of November. If you go back to my channel and watch my greenhouse video, you'll see how the seedlings came along. So if you are interested in floret flower originals and floret flower zinnias. You can see how I grew them from seed if you watch that video. But anyway, I wanted to talk about how my seedlings are doing now. So I think they've been in here for like a month now. Um, they are putting a lot of beautiful growth. I did come out here and pinch them. So if you're new to gardening, pinching or snipping is when you snip the top of the buds, the few leaves at the top to encourage the plant to send more energy to put on new growth. That way, instead of getting like a single growth on a single stem, you could get a lot of growth around the plant with which then would flower into multiple blooms, which would look much more bushier and much more nicer. So yeah, these are putting on lots of growth because I did the snipping a few weeks back. You could also watch the video that I did the snipping. I think if I'm not wrong, it must be in my gardening update, the first gardening update I made. You can go back and watch that video and you can see how I did the snips, sorry. Um, so yeah, you can see how the plant is putting a lot of new growth and I am so excited. They look really healthy. Like if you can see, the stems look beautiful. The leaves look really healthy, really green, very lush. And you can see that the buds are starting to grow. I did put in a lot in this bed, but my dahlia is sort of taking over a lot of space here. So I might be able to see them if I sort of go around here. There's some at the back here and just these ones here. And moving on to this bed, the zinnias, floret flower zinnias are over here, like in a row. In this bed also, I put in a mix of precious metals, Dawn Creek Blush and Dawn Creek Peach. And I can already see a lot of new buds in this bed too, like this one here and this one and this here. One thing I must say that I noticed about floret flower originals is that they are very, like the stems are really strong and really much bigger than the zinnia varieties that I've grown. They are really thick, as the stems seem to be really thick, and the leaves seem to be much bigger than the other varieties of zinnias that I've grown over the years. So I'm really happy about that and I'm really excited. I just cannot wait to see the colors of my precious metals and Dawn Creek Blush and Peach. Moving on to this bed, I have a little surprise here. There is my little first zinnia, little flower. This one's a little, oh sorry, I'm just trying to focus. But just look at that color. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I really love these shades of pink, blush shades. So I'm really excited to see how the other flowers would go. This one is a little bit smaller. It's maybe because it's a tiny one, or I'm afraid if it's because I've got the sunflowers here and I'm afraid it's because of the sunflowers competing with the root system. But because I have a lot around scattered everywhere, I am hoping that I will get bigger blooms in these ones and in these ones and in these ones and the ones that I've got over there, the borders I showed before. So yeah, so these are also a mix of the three precious metals, blush and peach. and I can see lots of new buds forming, and in 2 to 3 weeks time I will have proper blooms. So I am really, really excited about that, and I hope to share the updates of my zinnias when they start flowering, and I also hope to cut some of them, bring them inside and enjoy them while they bloom. One thing about zinnias is a type of flower that is like a cut and come flower. The more you cut, the more they send out new shoots, because it encourages the plant to send more energy into flowering rather than sending new shoots and putting on new growth rather than sending the energy into the flower. But I do hope to leave few in the plants for seed collection towards the end of summer. So what I'll do is I will basically, the videos that I watched about floret flower originals and floret flower seed harvesting, they say to look and observe the flowers that are putting on the best blooms and to sort of collect the seeds from those blooms. So what I'll do is I'll come out here and I will observe which zinnia plants among the three are putting on the best blooms, the biggest blooms, the most beautiful shades. And then I will save some of the last blooms until they go brown to sort of collect seeds. I will hopefully record the whole process for you guys, and I do hope to film a video of when I will be harvesting seeds so that you can see how I do that and you can learn how to harvest your own zinnia seeds and have your own little seed bank. It is also very exciting because then you get to share it with your friends. Of course, with harvesting seeds, the bees seem to cross pollinate among these plants. So, what happens is when the bees um, move from one flower to the other, they cross pollinate, meaning they leave pollen from one flower to the other flower, meaning that a pink, say for example, a pink flower, pollen from pink flower that gets mixed with the pollen in a blush flower would create a whole new variety. Isn't that exciting? So I think this year what I'll do is, because I still got few of few seeds from all these three different varieties, I am going to let bees do their magic and see which varieties I can come up with so that I can see how I go next year. If I plant them out, then I will know which colors the bees created for me. I find the whole process really magical, and that's why I like to grow a lot of flowers in my garden, because I want to encourage bee population and more different colors of varieties in my garden. Bees do magic in the garden. Basically, without them, we won't be able to grow anything. So I'm really thankful for the bees, for for the hard work they do. And I welcome all the different kinds of bees into my garden. I feel so happy every time I see them moving from one flower to the other. It just makes my heart so happy. So I think that is all that I wanted to cover in today's zinnia update video. So you can see the amount of growth they have done. Sorry, just these ones here. The amount of growth they have done. Um, this is while the timing of the recording of this video, it is December, I think 18th. So we'll see at the end of December how much growth they have put on. So you'll be able to see how they grow and the amount of time they take to grow. So yeah, I think that's all, my friends. Thank you for staying along and enjoying this process with me. I find this really magical, and every time I grow new varieties, I learn so much about them. They are really amazing teachers, and you always take away new knowledge about them. And sometimes success and failure come together in gardening. Some plants just do really well, and other plants just need you to learn a bit more about them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you can follow along my gardening journey and see what else I get up to in the garden the rest of the summer. Hope you have a great December, and hope you get lots of time with your loved ones to enjoy this holiday season. And I hope you have the best time celebrating with your families. Bye.